Today, we are talking about the unspoken rules of the fragrance counter, the things shoppers never think about, but associates deal with every single day they are working at the counter. The funny, the shocking, the disappointing, and the absolutely unbelievable, from the bottle in the nose crowd to the, you know what? I'll buy it online, folks. To the stories that break your heart and the ones that remind you why retail matters. And this episode is all about the reality of fragrance etiquette. Welcome to Sorry It's Discontinued. I'm Hilary, a former luxury beauty manager, sharing the reality of retail along with the history, highlighting the amazing people, and telling the stories that need to be told. So have a seat and let's talk about how fragrance etiquette, it is disappearing. Oh, wait, there it goes. There it goes, and it's gone. Wait, maybe it's back. No, it's still gone. So let's get into it. Sorry. It's discontinued. Fragrance, it has always been emotional. It's memories, identity, confidence, and it's one of the most personal categories in beauty, least for me. And behind the counter, helping someone discover their signature scent, it can be honestly magical. Sounds like a big word, but it's not. My favorite is when someone smells something that they've never smelled before. And when they're smelling it and their whole face lights up, they smile. You could see that it just brought back an amazing memory or a person. It is magical. But here's the other side to the fragrance world, where manners disappear, entitlement, it can pop up uninvited. Nobody wants entitlement. No, go home. And compassion for associates gets lost somewhere between the blotter cards and the sniffs. So today we're exploring the unwritten rules of fragrance shopping and the challenges associates face and why respect at the counter is more important than ever. Not just for the customer experiences, but for the people who show up to spray those blotter cards every day. So let's first start. Number one, the bottle up the nose people. I have talked about this before, but it's the fragrance connoisseurs, collectors, and they pick up the bottle and they put the bottle, little spray nozzle, into their nose. I get you have to get close, but you don't have to smell the bottle. You could smell the cap. But you know, these bottle up the nose people, they pick up a tester bottle, they shove it into their nostril like they're inhaling some sort of magic potion. No, it doesn't work that way. Not only is it unsanitary and we can't clean them all the time with alcohol and with COVID and the flu and colds and pneumonia and ugh, it doesn't even smell like the perfume is supposed to be. You might get a tiny whiff of maybe one or two notes. Maybe an amber pops up or the oud or the tobacco. But no, you have to spray it. And if you don't want to spray a blotter card, then that's fine. You could spray the cap, but that can be a little challenging too because the cap will get really sticky and really messy. And I don't even like that either. Blech. But when you're just smelling the nozzle, it can smell like mostly alcohol and regret. So, number one, no. Don't put the bottle up your nose. It's disgusting. Okay, number two, fragrance card rejection. We've all run into it. When you're selling fragrance, you hand a customer a blotter card, the universal tool of fragrance testing, and they look at it like you've just given them a ticket or homework, and they just push it away. They wave it off. They're rude about it, or a lot of times they completely ignore you. And then I've actually had people say, well, what does it smell like? Or, well, what is this? It's a fragrance blotter card. It's free. Just handing it to you, spreading the word on what this fragrance smells like. It's not a big deal. You can just say politely, oh, no, I'm good. Like, thank you. Like, I get it. I do that when I pass kiosks in the mall. I'm not rude about it, but I don't want them to help me. I just want to go get my shit and go home. You don't have to take it. It's fine. Don't be mean. And just don't be mean. Now, there is a flip side to customers dealing with pushy fragrance sales advisors, pushy freelancers. So, a moment of honesty. I get it. I do believe in retail accountability, y'all. Yes, sometimes we can be the problem, spraying somebody before you've even asked them. You do a whole spray and you're not just spraying. You're like, I think you're going to love this. Whoosh, you spray down their arm. Not very nice. You've got to ask permission. Also, waving a bottle around and being extremely eccentric and pushy at the same time, it is a big turnoff. And when you're resorting to almost bribery and pushing the fragrance and spraying them down and selling your soul, it's just not worth it. Let them walk away. So, number 4, the silent walk up. This is one of my biggest pet peeves. I typically am really friendly, almost like so friendly. It's pretty annoying at times. I know I can sound really fake because I'm like, hey, because I get super excited. Sometimes when it's really slow, you can't help but be excited when a customer walks up. Like, hey, man, how are you doing? I haven't talked to anybody in like 30 minutes. I'm so glad you're here. I get it can be a lot. That said, the silent walk up, when you greet someone, you're kind. Hey there, welcome, and they do not answer you back. They stare at you or they hover. They don't even look at you most of the time, and they focus on the fragrance. They continue to talk to their friends or their family members. Yeah, so this is Tom Ford, blah, blah, blah. This is DeMarley's blah, 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 blah. They're explaining all of these fragrances in front of you, sometimes wrong, and sharing these stories, sharing information because they're wanting to show off or express how knowledgeable they are. That's fine. It's okay to just say hello. It's free. I'm going to show my friends some fragrances. I just wanted to highlight some of my favorites, but I'll let you know if we need anything. I really appreciate you. Simple, super simple. And then sometimes I like to nerd out. I like to share the notes. I'm not expecting for you to buy anything. I'm just excited to talk about it. So the ignoring and silent treatment, not my favorite. You can include a sales advisor and just be straight up. Like, hey, man, I'm not buying anything today, so I don't want to infringe on your time if you make commission or whatever it is. But I do want to learn about these fragrances and I want to show my friend. It's fine. I will support it 100%. A simple hello creates connection for all of us. Okay, number 5. When you're with a customer and you get the loud, excuse me, you're mid-sentence. Excuse me. Hey, excuse me, from another counter or another part of the department. They're in a hurry or they just want to know where the restroom is. It's not helpful. A simple, like, hey, oh, I see what you're doing. Hey, I just need to know where the restroom is. I hate excuse me. I think it can come across so rude. Not friendly. It's okay. I'm here to help. But a loud excuse me. Just the walk away, no thank you. Number 6. That is so frustrating when you've just given a full consultation. You have sprayed blotter cards, explained notes, talked about stories, and they literally just walk away. Once they've gotten enough, they've gotten their fill, they know what they want, or they don't like anything. Not even a thank you, not even a courtesy nod, just a silent exit. They just disappear into the retail abyss. So, what about the time waster try on marathon? Number 7. There are the people who turn fragrance sampling into a marathon, if you will, or just a waste of time. And they use up like 50 blotter cards in like 20 minutes. 5 cards, 2 wrists, layer it with that one. Can I smell that again? Wait, did I already spray that already? What are the notes in that? I like amber. Do you have any other fragrances here that have amber? I really like oud. Would oud go with amber? What about this one over here? Well, that one is fresh. It has more cypress. I think I like that. I really like fresh fragrances, but you just said you wanted something more oudy, more. Yeah, I'm so tired. And then after 30 minutes of back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, you just want to pass out on the floor. They're like, well, let me think about it. Let me think about it. Start at the beginning. You could try some blotter cards. I'll be here to support your fragrance journey. But let me know ahead of time if you're just going to walk around and spray 1,000,000,001 fragrances, ask me stupid questions when you could just literally pick up your phone and Google all this shit. I can never say the word, Fragrantica, that website that has all of the fragrance notes. I use it. It is so helpful. I think it's pretty accurate. I don't know 100%. I'm not a doctor, but you can go on there and you can look up these fragrances, but your freaking Google AI will pull it up. Siri will help you. Hey, does YSL myself have bergamot? Google it. I don't want to be a dick, but come on, don't be a dick with my time. Okay, number 8, the tiny purchase, huge expectations customer. This is so annoying, and we've all dealt with this. Like, I just want to melt into this chair of ridiculousness, how bad this is. The tiny purchase, huge, big expectations. Does anybody get that reference from Pretty Woman? The $28 travel spray customer who expects a bag, samples, deluxe samples, gift wrap, ribbons. Can you wrap all of this up? Past holiday totes, and maybe even a new car, an organ donation, or your next paycheck. Luxury is not tied to the size of your purchase. It is tied to the size of your character. Who said that? I think it was a retail god out there somewhere. It was written down on some sort of stone. The expectations of a tiny purchase and getting all kinds of shit has gotten bigger and bigger each year, which part of my Monday mini. Huge expectations for tiny little purchases. Well, I'll just get it online. God bless America. Doing the best I can here with what I've got. So I want to tell you guys a story related to this. So my girlfriend, and I was just helping at a store recently, the sweetest, kindest person. So a customer came to the store. And I mean, this story is just one for the retail books. But what's so sad is it happens more often than not. It happened to me doing makeovers when you get, you do a makeup application and they're all excited about the one lipstick and one lip gloss that you had to almost force them to buy even though you spent an hour and a half, and then they come back and then they return it and they keep the makeup look because obviously it was on their face. So something kind of similar. A client came in complaining that she wasn't getting enough gifts and that online always gives more. Totally get it. It's totally true. They do. Well, the associate trying to be kind and accommodating and so excited that she had a customer to begin with, said she could honor the client's request. So the woman bought multiple fragrance sets. The associate even shared the sale with coworkers who hadn't sold anything that day. The struggle bus, it had come through this department. So a beautiful moment of teamwork. Just amazing. They bagged each set lovingly. They added samples and goodies. She got a tote for each set, and they all made it very special for this client. She was excited, thrilled. Then, a few days later, every single set was returned. Big surprise? You're probably not surprised. Yeah, you could probably see the end of that story before I even told it. But wait, it gets worse. I bet you know what I'm going to say. When they checked the store, because she returned it at a different location, not a surprise, they discovered the customer kept everything except for the sets. She kept all the gifts, all the bags, all the samples, all the extras. She returned the merchandise and kept the freebies. Like, what? And these are the moments that make associates hesitate to give samples because we don't get that many to begin with. And we're battling online goodies and samples. But it's not because we want to be stingy, but because you're so afraid you're going to get taken advantage of. So this does not happen all the time. This is definitely an exception, not the rule. Most clients are lovely and honest. But stories like this, they just, you know? So I have a few more things that I want to talk about before we go today. I want to talk about entitled shoppers who treat associates as less than. It's hard for me to not use my hands. I know this is mostly audio, but I'm using my hands like crazy, people. I'm going to knock myself out. But entitled shoppers who treat associates as less than, it happens, kind of feels like it's happening more lately. I think because we're all getting so connected online. I mean, I'm literally recording this on my MacBook, but we're getting connected to computers and superficial and not connecting and, seeing people for who they are. And kindness is queen. Remember that. So entitled shoppers who treat associates as less than, the type, chin up, sunglasses on, a lot of times inside. They're very serious, they're very dismissive. Money does not buy kindness. It does not buy class, and it does not make anyone superior, but they darn sure act like it. And associates who are trained are skilled and patient and human. And no one is less than or more than anyone. We are all equal and all the same. And service industry workers are the same as people who have big, fat wallets. This story kicked me in the gut. So before we close, I want to share it because it is stuck with me. My friend told me that selling fragrance, it feels harder than ever, which it does. It depends on which brand is hot. It depends on the trends. It depends on what people see on TikTok or other social media outlets, but that's neither here nor there. So fragrance, it's not harder than ever because people don't love perfume. It's still like one of the number one things people are shopping for. But because more clients now openly say they are just trying it first in the store before they're buying it online. It's happening every day. People come in, they're sniffing, they're trying it, they're experiencing it with their friends. They want to share the stories with their friends and not even really get helped by the sales advisor, or they'll take advantage of the sales advisor just at the end to say, great, I think this is the one. And I'm going to go home and I'm going to buy it online. And they say it so casually, not realizing that this human, this associate in front of them has goals, has bills, might have kids or fur babies, and a paycheck that depends on these sales. So when my friend told me this story after saying fragrance sales, it just feels harder than ever. This story just really broke my heart because she is just awesome. So a woman had come in with her teenage son, and this was the second visit. My friend had already shown them tons of options with no direction, really, just kind of going around trying different fragrances. And they had already tried these before. And my friend, who speaks multiple languages, she was translating in her head as she spoke, which, from what she's told me, I only speak English. I wish I spoke Spanish. I wish I spoke Mandarin. I wish I spoke Vietnamese. My husband's Vietnamese. I don't even speak Vietnamese. It's so sad. But she has to translate in her head from her language into English, and it can be really exhausting and hard, she was explaining to me. And so she gently asked this client, which it might have come across rude, but she didn't mean it rude. It was just this language translation on asking the client, is there a price point you have in mind? The age old question. Is there a price point when you want to stick under? You don't want to go over? Or is there a budget? I've set a budget. And she was just trying to help. She was trying to narrow down options so she could get more of an idea of what they were looking for. Because keep in mind, this had kind of gone on and she wasn't sure how to help. So I was trying to narrow down the options. The client got very offended. But she didn't just get offended. She went off and she berated my friend loudly in front of other customers and associates. I have enough money to buy whatever I want. My friend was stunned. She wasn't judging her. She's not the type of person, and she wasn't being rude. She was literally just trying to understand what direction to take. And if you met her, you would know immediately. She's very gentle. She's kind. She's very patient. She's everything. She's a mom. She has a dog. I mean, just a big old heart, this lady. And she's everything a luxury associate should be in customer service. But in that moment, that humiliation, it has stayed with her. And when she was telling me the story, she teared up and she explained how she has a little bit of it just lingering, like worrying, and she feels bad about it because she never meant to upset her. But the woman was so angry. But it reminds me how quickly customers, you forget that these associates are human. And I'm sure associates, at times we can forget. I'm a customer. I can forget that I am a human. The person in front of me, regardless of which side of the counter we're on, we're all human. We're all human. Think about that. So fragrance, it should be joyful. It should be a sensory, beautiful experience for all of us. And underneath all of that, there are real people that are trying to do their best. Share the stories, share the notes. They want to wow you, but a little courtesy, it changes everything. So say hello, say thank you, be patient, acknowledge the people who are helping you. Remember, money, it does not make you better, ever. And retail workers are not less than. We are professionals. We are human. We deserve the same respect as anybody else. I thank you so much for listening to today's episode of Sorry It's Discontinued. If you connected with this episode, please share it because these conversations matter. Now, I want to hear from you. What is your biggest fragrance pet peeve? What moment has stayed with you? Tell me at sorryitsdiscontinued.com, or you can tag me at sorryitsdiscontinued on your favorite social media. And to my fellow retail lovers out there, I support you. Support your local stores. Support your local sales associates. Be kind. Give yourself a hug. And remember, every smile, every greeting, every thank you, it makes retail a better place, whether you're in front of the counter or behind it. I'll see you next week. Bye. Thanks for listening to Sorry It's Discontinued, where we honor the voices, stories of those who've lived life behind the counter in retail. If you've loved this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, or share it with a fellow retail warrior. You can support the show at buymeacoffee.com/sorrypodcast, or you can leave me a message at sorryitsdiscontinued.com if there's anything you want me to talk about, or even be a guest on the show. Now, the views, opinions, and personal experiences shared on this podcast are my own and those of my guests. They do not reflect the views of any current or former employers, brands, or companies that may be mentioned. All stories are shared with care, honesty, and respect. Names, titles, or identifying details may be changed to protect privacy. Now, thank you for sitting with me today. I'm sending you lots of love, retail crew. Kindness is contagious. So spread your beautiful smiles, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Sorry. It's discontinued.